Due to misuse, I've been banned from posting any job offers on a country's leading job website. There's only 2 people I can hire for the event. Luckily, they both say yes. She's still willing to work for below minimum wage, but because the event is 18+, Catherine is not allowed inside of the factory. Instead, she spends the morning running around town putting up flyers advertising the rave. The advertisements are confusing, printed without color, and say the event starts at 5:30 in the afternoon. I don't expect the flyers to bring anyone to the factory. In fact, I hope they don't. The flyers merely exist to make this an official event. The man who was painted green for Children's Sci-Fi Saturday is less amicable on the phone. At first, he furiously declines my offer to work. The ex-convict even threatens to fine me and beat me over the work papers that I never filled out. I promise him the documents and suggest that his presence at the rave could count towards his community service hours. However, he relents. While Catherine runs around town advertising the rave, the ex-convict helps me run security. He shows up wearing a dirty bomber jacket and has a terrible attitude. When I give him a baseball bat, he handles the tool with reverence. He's worked security before, he says. If anyone steps out of line, he'll take care of them, he says. I don't tell either of them my true plan. I don't tell them because I fear if they knew I was trying to defeat the unknown, neither of them would be willing to help. The plan, even to me, seems to be hinging on unsure presumptions, yet one cannot expect order when facing the incomprehensible. The doubts about whether the unknown would show up again died down while Carl's people set up the lights the night prior. All I could do was play the role of an event organizer trying to redeem his reputation. As I do my first patrol for the factory with the ex-convict, however, the doubts come back. What if the unknown doesn't show until late in the night? What if it doesn't show at all? Can the unknown even be defeated through physical force? All of these questions fester in the back of my skull, feeding off of my sleeplessness and stress. The thought that I'll meet the same fate as Karel starts to turn into a certainty. Yet before the panic can fully seize me, I'm brought back into reality by the man in the dirty bomber jacket. 5:30 is too early, he says, eyeing the light fixtures with disgust. No one's gonna show. Let's work for you then, right? I smile. He doesn't. The man clears his throat, spits some phlegm into a dark corner, and then continues on his patrol toward the loading dock. I'm about to follow him, but then the main factory door creaks open behind me. A familiar set of innocent eyes peek through. I've given out all the flyers, Catherine says, hovering on the edge of the premises she's not allowed to enter. Met some peeps outside of the mall that seemed really excited. You handed out all the flyers? It's 5:35. I expected Catherine to be out promoting until 7 at least. The thought of people showing up early chills my blood. The plan to defeat the unknown does not allow for random civilians to be in the factory. Yeah, she says, smiling. I gave a stack of them to some people at the train station who said they were looking for something to do tonight. The folks at the mall took a couple too. Said they would tell their friends. I peek out of the factory. There are no other visitors yet, just Catherine. Yet my imagination starts to paint crowds. One piece of feedback though, she says, her face twisting into a momentary show of disappointment before springing back towards the standard joy. They said that 5:30 is too early for a rave. Also said you'd probably attract more people with colored flyers. My pulse calms. 5:30 is, indeed, too early. Hopefully the interested parties will stick to their ideals and stay away until sunset at least. Good job, Catherine. As you know, you're not allowed at the actual event, but there's a box of wristbands somewhere that I will need you to... You prick! The rough voice bounces around the old factory like settling thunder. You said the thing wouldn't be here! You promised! Balancing a tightrope between rage and fear, the ex-convict backs out of the loading dock. He grips the baseball bat like a warrior, and for a moment I fear that he will strike me down. Yet aluminum quickly comes clattering to the floor. The thing is right behind him. Crawling like a 4-legged spider, the unknown emerges from the passageway. I'd hoped the man would help me fight the creature, but my hopes were misplaced. As he backs away from the unknown, the ex-convict yells obscenities at me, yet he faces the creature as if it were a wild bear. The fear in his eyes drives the being to start crawling faster. It nearly has its eldritch talons on him when suddenly its attention shifts. A piercing scream sounds off right by my ear. I did my best to block Catherine's view of the factory floor, but my best was not enough. The shock of the creature's mere presence sends her into panic. When a terrible thing cranes its neck to look at us, it sends her running. The ex-convict uses this momentary distraction to make his escape as well. He runs at the factory door, shoving me in the process. I make no attempts to stop him. I had hopes that he would help me slow down the creature, but this isn't his fight. I grip my bat and walk onto the factory floor. The unknown shrinks its neck back in surprise. It doesn't expect resistance. As if the specter was a confused animal, the mask of metal cocks to the side. The thing watches me, unsure of how to react, but it quickly makes a decision. With renewed speed, the unknown crawls towards me. A chorus of whispers sounds off beneath the mask. Their combined hiss terrifies me, but I bite past my fear. With all the spirit I can muster, I grip my baseball bat. I strike true. The aluminum meets the mask with an audible bonk and sends the creature scurrying away. The thing looks almost pitiful in its retreat, and my heart soars with pride at having defeated it. The celebration is deeply misplaced. The unknown quickly turns to face me once more. The beast rushes at me again, yet there's fury in its movements now. With each step it takes, the cloak that contains its limbs grows higher and more jagged. By the time the unknown faces me once more, it's nearly twice my size. My second strike does nothing to the creature. It simply blocks its talons from cutting into my shoulders. I'm left holding off the beast with the bat, yet with each passing second, the hidden mass of flesh grows heavier. We crash to the ground. With my remaining strength, I still manage to press the creature off of me, yet my efforts are irrelevant. The unknown's neck squirms past my arms and places the mask against my ear. The whispering chorus speaks to me once more. The sensation is terrible. The dozens of mouths speak in a foreign tongue, yet I understand each and every word. They articulate truths which no sober or sane mind can hope to put into speech. The chorus of mouths speaks to me, and its terrible hiss blasts away any other form of perception. I'm utterly lost in a demon's communication, but then, in a volley of gunfire, I am saved. The blasts cut through the hiss and send me crashing back into reality. They are numerous and come in quick succession. It isn't until the patrolmen have emptied out both of their clips that they stop shooting. They stand in the factory doors, dressed as civilians, wisps of smoke still leaking from their handguns. Next to me, the creature lies defeated. The cloak which contained its massive body lies crumpled on the floor. The massive neck is gone, and the mask seems like nothing more than refined scrap. As I look at the remnants of the creature, the coat starts to shrink like a piece of plastic eaten away by heat. The mask, too, seems to fizz away into the ether. When the two cops see the creature's form start to dissipate, they celebrate. They holler and high-five, and the good-humored one starts to scream boasts about defeating demons. But something feels off. The creature crumbles away in front of me, but faintly. I still hear its whispers. The gunshots were but a momentary pop and a steady eldritch hiss. With every passing second, the terrible chorus drives my body into shivering madness. I lift myself up with the aid of the baseball bat and try to make sense of reality. The policemen are celebrating, but there's still something at the loading dock. I try to get their attention, but they are far too caught up in their revelry. Alone, I make my way through the passage to the loading dock. As I hobble with my bat, the whispers grow louder and angrier. Quickly, their source becomes apparent. At the far side of the dock, rested against one of the shuttered doors, sits the unknown's mirror. It has shed its funhouse quality and reflects as a normal mirror should. Across the hall, I catch my own reflection, yet the closer I move towards the mirror, the clearer it becomes I am not alone. Behind me, gaining at a steady stride, moves the terrible specter. Its limbs are raised and it's larger than ever. Yet it is the creature's face that drives terror into my heart and panic into my steps. The mask is gone. A terrible mass of lips and teeth embedded in sickly flesh chatters in its place. I run towards the mirror, hoping to smash it with the bat and bring this whole terrible affair to an end. I push my drained body to its brink, trying to move quickly, yet the unknown moves quicker. Its dark cloak descends on me meters away from the mirror. I cannot reach. The best I can do is throw the bat like a javelin at the horrid expression. Before the aluminum fully leaves my hand, I am plunged into a world of darkness. It is all so brief, but the moment burrows itself into my heart and skin. I am in some shadowy realm where the air is filled with the stench of sulfur. Off in the distance, I see the faint outlines of jagged mountains, yet the topography of the nightmare quickly becomes irrelevant. My skin burns. My face, my neck, my hands, any shred of exposed flesh is assailed by a terrible sizzling pain that grips my body in agony. The burn is excruciating. I am certain that death is near and that my only hope is that it arrives quickly. The pain strips away all notion of cogent thought and drives me to my knees, but then, just as I feel my consciousness beginning to let go, I hear the sound of glass shattering. My hands and face continue to burn as I find myself lying on the loading dock floor, but the pain is manageable. A mere inconvenience compared to the suffering of the unknown's grip. Beyond my aching body lie the remnants of the broken mirror. The two patrolmen come in to investigate the crash. For a moment they pause their celebration to ask me if I am okay. I do not answer them until I pick up a shard of broken glass. Breathlessly, I study my own reflection. I'm okay, I finally say. My skin is blood red with irritation and my facial hair is coarse and burnt. I look like I've been a victim of a chemical weapons attack, but it's not my looks that I'm worried about. Past my harrowed reflection, nothing moves. There is nothing following me. It's over, I say. We defeated the unknown. My declaration of victory sends the younger patrolman into another fit of whooping and hollering, yet his sterner partner keeps his composure. He gets me a rag and a bottle of water and suggests I seek immediate medical attention. I consider his suggestion, but as I do, a trio of partygoers enter the loading dock. They ask about the rave. They ask where the music is. I assure them that they are in the right place and take their entry fee. When they see my face in a clear light, it looks like they might reconsider. The presence of the two strange men with guns doesn't make them any calmer. A round of free beers and the sheer strength of the sound system, however, chills them out. It's far too early for a rave, but groups of partygoers slowly trickle in. Without Catherine and the ex-convict, I have no staff to help me, but the patrolmen happily lend a hand. The stern old-timer mans the door and handles payment and the wristbands, while the one with good humor stalks the warehouse for troublemakers and occasionally fiddles with the sound system. As I tend the makeshift bar, many of the attendees inquire about my health. They say I look unwell, as if I need to go to the hospital, but I shrug their concerns off. I just have some allergies, I say, managing a very painful smile. They always flare up around spring. Early on, people show a lot of concern, but as the night goes on, they stop asking questions and focus on the party. Around midnight, a noise complaint comes in, but my patrolman friends send their colleagues away. It's just a party, they say. This guy's cool. Local authorities take this as a reasonable excuse. My email is no less full of complaints and threats, but seeing the factory come to life with music and dance and lights soothes my soul. I am still facing countless lawsuits and my reputation is forever ruined, but those are problems better considered in daylight. I still take occasional glances at the mirror, assuring myself that there is no foreign force reflected in it. There isn't. The unknown has been defeated, and I am free of its curse. As I stand behind a makeshift bar, worries about my future do occasionally bubble up, but I don't dwell on them. I just watch the strobe lights shift through the factory as I recall memories of my long-gone youth. And so concludes the saga of the unknown. But worry not, new stories are right around the corner. Sup ghouls, it's me, Mike, the guy who writes these stories. The United People series is slowly getting to a polished state. It's still going to be a couple of weeks, and I'm waiting until I have all 20 episodes finalized before I start releasing them, so there'll be some compilations coming out in the meantime. The audio versions are still being worked on, but all of the United People series stories are already available in text form at patreon.com/MikeJLanger. Real excited to introduce y'all to Professor Willow and his hybrid creations. For some inside baseball YouTube algorithm stuff, the wordless intros didn't make any big changes to viewer engagement. So starting next week, we'll be going back to the old "Welcome to the Cabinet of Fever Dreams" thing. There might be some experimentation with the intros over the coming weeks to see what else works, but I'd like to keep these post-story outros. You know what else I'd like to do? Thank those patrons for helping to keep this channel viable. Big old thanks to Bob Conderg, Dante Kincaid, Joyce, Matt, Mr. Creepypasta, Paul Evans, and Shion. If you'd like to join these illustrious titans of science, drop by patreon.com/MikeJLanger. Hope everyone is safe, sane, and healthy out there. See y'all next week.